Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the second installment of my Contractor Supplement Companion app. I'm going to be going over the features of Alpha 2.0, and I've got some exciting news to share with you. Today is 11/24/2019. It's a Sunday, so I'm going to be releasing this on Monday. So be sure to stick around for the end of the video so that I can let you know how to get your hands on this. So, whenever you download it, it's probably going to tell you that, oh, the file is harmful, but don't worry about that. It's just saying that because I didn't pay Google for the rights to have like a download server, which is fine. So in order to actually use it, you're going to have to extract it. So you right click on it, click on extract files, and it will give you a little folder that says CSC app. Now you don't need this zip file anymore, so that can go away. What you actually need is this little folder here, and the app is inside. Now, the first time that you start this up, it's probably going to throw up some warning signs saying that it's malicious software or something. But since this is a custom built computer that I've made, it's not going to have that warning signs. Don't worry about that. The only reason why it's doing that is because it's not signed by Microsoft, and in order to get a programming license from Microsoft, I need to drop like $400 on it, and I'm not willing to do that for a indie developed contractor companion app. You know what I mean? Anyway, so you just double click on that, click on run anyway, and it'll start up. I don't actually need that anymore. So there's one more tab, and you'll notice that it actually brought in my information from the last time that I used it. So it will actually save information between versions, so you can just update it whenever you want. The only thing that you need to do to update it is just to use the most current app executable for it, and then it'll do everything right. So yeah, so there's one extra tab down here that is for the creation and editing of custom items, and this is some really exciting stuff because I went through the supplement item notes, and when I started this I was thinking, man, I'll just hard code everything in here, and that way I'll have the explanations and everything that I can email off to the insurance companies, and it'll be great. However, for a large scale project like this, it's not really feasible to do. So I created a way that you can actually make your own light items in there. So yeah, if you just click on this button and come into the new item entry menu, you will find that you can actually make your own items. So this box right here goes for the name, and this box right here is for the description. So yeah, all you have to do is just type in what you want. And one thing that I noticed that I didn't have in my menu over there was actually house wrap. So, what is house wrap? House wrap is a moisture barrier that is installed under the siding layer. Okay? Why are you going to need to replace it? What's the justification for that? Well, after the siding is removed, the moisture barrier will be torn and full of holes from the previous attachment points. Okay, we will be required to replace this material in order to restore the property property to pre-storm conditions. There we go. Then just hit the enter button, and it'll be saved in there. Now, there's two ways that you can go about saving this line item. You can click this button over here, and it will save this individual line item box and nothing else. Or you can click this button up here, and it will save everything. So if I were to type in some gobbledygook down here, and down here, and down here, so on and so forth, and I'm like, well, I don't really like any of that, I can go back here and come back in there, and they will all be gone. Alternatively, if I see something, if I make something that I really want to keep, and something that I, don't want to, and I click on this save button, it'll only save this box, but it won't save this one. So if we go back and come back in, there you go, it's saved. Now let's say that I don't like this item anymore. Well, I can, in fact, delete it. Bam, there you go, it's gone. And then I can put something else in that box, and so on and so forth. And of course, the line items that you go ahead and delete will be replaced by the line items below it. So you can literally just keep doing that. Good stuff, right? So there are a few other buttons down here as well. We've got the import and the export. Now these features are really great. I'm super proud of these ones. So I'm going to start by exporting this line item. So what I want this app to achieve is for people to actually be able to share these descriptions amongst each other. So if I click on export, you'll notice that it comes up with a save box, and it will automatically name it to line item export, but you can name it to anything you want. So house wrap, I'm going to name it to that. Click on save, and it will save it in the location that I asked it to. Okay, so now this is just a text file, really. So if I open it up, you can actually see that it saved house wrap, and then it's got the description of what I typed in down there. And it's really easy. I could literally come in through here next to this line and just type in whatever I want, this is non-negotiable. Probably spelled that wrong, but okay. And then I can save that. And let's say that somebody has a better idea for what house wrap is. Well, they can actually send me this file, and then with this supplement companion thing, I can literally click on import, and I can import house wrap. And you'll notice that it put that line item in there. And if I click on here, there's my edits. This is non-negotiable. Now this one doesn't say that one, so you can tell that it is in fact the item that I put over here. So if I were to just leave this screen and come back in, it's not going to save it. And that's by design. So if you want to save it, you're going to have to click on the save button, and then it will lock it in there. So yeah, that's the features of this menu, and it's great. And you might be wondering, well, Devin, this menu is all great and everything, but how do I actually use this stuff? Well, I have some good news for you, because the supplement notes automatically import custom items, and they wind up all the way at the bottom here, at the bottom of the list. So you'll notice if I just check on those, and I click on Storm on this one, and I click on the print button, it'll generate me a supplement notes email. So here it is down here, and I open it up, and it's got, hello, this email is in regards to name here, having claim number, enter claim number here, blah, 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 blah. House wrap, and it actually printed both of them. So house wrap is a moisture barrier that is installed under your house, and then I included the code in this one. So current local building codes requires the installation of house wrap. This material will be installed in order to comply with the with this code requirement. This is mandatory per the IBC 2006 edition. And then this one is the second one that I checked. I didn't put the code on this one, and it simply says this is non-negotiable at the end. So there we go. I've got my supplement notes. So, yeah, it's great. So then I come back out here. Now, there is one other feature that I've got in this application, and it is the waste calculator. Now, I know that I've been teasing this a little bit since the last time, and the waste calculator is actually a pretty nifty little tool that I have used in the past to prove that the insurance companies are not covering with the correct amount of waste that they need to be covering it with. I mean, that's even before including the ridge and starter in their waste calculations. So here we go. We just click on the waste calculator, and you'll notice that there is quite a bit of information that it is requesting you to put in here. So we'll start off in it with insurance tear-off value. We'll say 10 squares. Insurance install value, they probably got like 11 squares to give it, 10% waste, I think. Sure. Contractor tear-off line item, we'll say 10 squares as well, and we'll say we've got 11 squares too. Ridge length, as an example, let's just say it's got 50 linear feet. Starter, without doing too much work into it, we'll just say that it's got 100 linear feet of starter. Valley length, probably, 50. Rake lengths, geez. Let's go 50 with that as well. Step flashing, I'll put that at 10 linear feet. Great. So now we've got kind of our and I know these numbers probably won't work together for actual measurements, but humor me for a second. So I've got this note down here to remind everybody that the purpose of this calculator is to reveal the dishonesty of including the ridge and starter into the waste factor by the insurer based on the estimate created. This program assumes that you, as a contractor, do not include the ridge and starter into the waste calculation, and the insurer does. If you do have ridge and starter in the waste, the output will be false. Of course, real-world waste values may vary. So all you got to do now, after you've got all this information here, is click on the print button, and it will print out this nifty little thing. So if we go ahead and just save this to the desktop, again, it will generate me a file right here, and check it out. So this is what it printed. So yeah, accepted values, insurance provided tear-off, install, basically everything that we put over there is accepted. So the insurance waste comes out to 10%, which is 1 square. Contractor waste 10% at 1 square. Waste consumed by item. Now, this is the crux of the program right here, because it actually takes linear feet and converts them into squares. Okay, so you'll notice that the ridge cap that I've got, half a square for 50 linear feet of ridge cap. Starter, of course, for 0.41 squares, valleys 1.52, rakes 0.42, step flashing 0.08. And yeah, so the waste given for replacement, what the insurance is giving you is 1 square, and the waste that's required for the replacement is 2.92, almost 3 squares. And then it generates this nifty little report down here utilizing the values that you've entered here. So waste values for field shingles in this context is to refer to the material allotment assigned by each item. The following is a summary of our findings. Total waste required for roof replacement is 2.92. This is evident by the measurements provided and is an addition of the values given. The ridge cap is 50 linear feet long. This translates into 0.49 squares of waste that would be needed to cover this amount. The starter is 100 linear feet long. This translates into 0.41 squares of waste needed to cover for the starter strip. Valley measurements total of, it just lists all of the measurements. Insurance is given a waste value of 10 squares. 10 squares. Oh, that's 10%. I need to have these labeled. Insurance is given a waste value of 10%, allowing for a total waste amount of 1 square. this value is less than the waste required to replace the roof by 1.92 squares. The waste required to replace this roof structure is less than the amount provided. It is recommended that insurance increases their waste values to account for the rakes, valleys, and step. The ridge cap and starter should be separated from the waste to ensure that they are accounted for. So yeah, waste calculator now works great. Except in the event when the insurance carrier actually gives you more waste than what is required, then it kind of falls apart. But whenever there's cases when they're not giving you enough, then you've got a leg to stand on. In the event where they're giving you more, the argument then, of course, would fall to, well, they're paying for the material cost for it, but they're not accounting for the labor it takes to remove and install that material. So yeah, there we go. Roof waste calculator. So out of the functions that it has now, you can create, import, and export your own line items. You can incorporate line items into supplements, and you can make these waste calculation reports. Now, some of the numbers on the waste calc exports might need a little bit of an adjustment. There's probably some more things that need adjusting on here. But the point of this program is to make it easier to supplement for things. So the last thing that I want to include in here is the adjuster arguments. Now, this is not complete for Alpha 2.0. It's probably not going to be complete for Alpha 3.0 because for 3.0, I will be basically refining all of these things so that I get them down pat. Because literally the adjuster arguments is just going to be like a list of rejection statements that adjusters have and how you can navigate around them. So yeah. Anyway, this is coming along quite well. So if you guys want one of these, go ahead and send me a message on the Facebook group, or send me a private message on Facebook, and I will give away some copies to the first few people that send me messages. I felt a little bad last time I did this when I gave away 10 copies because there were literally like 30 people asking me for copies. So I'm going to give away 15 now. So yeah, 15 copies of this supplement companion 2.0 version, and send me your email in a private message through Facebook, and I will get one out to you. It will of course be through a download link in my Google Drive, and there's problems that come along with that, but yeah. So tell me what you think, and have a good day.